Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the For the Content podcast with me, your host, Colesy, and my fellow host, Mr. Rapskilian. Hello.
Hi. Welcome to the late night edition of the podcast.
Yeah, this is After Dark.
After dark. I'm drinking coffee.
I've got a cup of tea because I'm English.
You know what? You want to hear a secret? I'm going to blow your mind. This is After Dark secret podcast. There's nothing in my cup.
What? Crazy.
Because I was like, I should have something in my hand. And I was like, oh wait, I should have grabbed a cup.
I just grabbed an empty cup and I'll pretend to drink. And even like for half the people that might listen to this, it meant nothing anyway because they won't see you with a cup.
Because you know why? There's an audio version of this podcast also.
Yeah, there is. That's right.
Absolutely.
You can listen and you can watch. Whichever you prefer.
Whichever, watch or listen. Your preference.
I mean, when you watch, you will actually technically listen as well.
What if you're blind?
Well, then you will only ever listen. I mean, that's just unfortunately that's your entire life is only listening. So,
what if you're blind and you just hate people's voices? And
you're not going to have a very fun life, I imagine. Do you
Well,
smell a lot of things? Do you just go around sniffing?
Okay, I'm sorry. I feel bad for saying that.
That's
anyway,
okay. I'm sure not many blind people who hate people's voices listen or watch the podcast. So
we have a very specific viewership. So we have billionaires and we have blind people that hate people's voices.
Exactly.
So how you been, Colesy? How you been?
I have been good. Today has been a bit of a busy, stressful day because I've had to do a lot of driving people around because my my girlfriend's auntie's car broke down. So then I had to sort of take over for driving everyone everywhere.
Oh, you had to become an Uber driver?
I did. That's fun. I also got to go and help my brother put together his new chair he's ordered. So he ordered himself a Secret Labs, a snazzy, comfy chair. And he was like, I don't know how to put it together. You have to help me. So I've been to put that together.
I have to be careful what I say because the chair that I'm sitting right on now, I haven't realized this, but there's a screw missing, and I found the screw, and I'm like, I should put that back in. I've never done that. It's still holding up. It's just a question to when it's not going to hold up.
Well, how many screws does it need, really, is the truth.
The answer to that question, and this is my father's answer to that question, probably the same, is as much as it needs to be stable and not dangerous.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sitting on it. I'm putting my full weight on the back of it. I shouldn't be testing.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're risking it a little bit there. I go, whoa, gonna do it.
And Destiny's like, oh, this is my chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I wanted to start this podcast off by saying, Colesy, I love you, but I hate you. But
we're getting a divorce.
Yeah. No. Oh, well, yeah. This is breaking up the hell after the honeymoon. So Colesy convinced me to get Windows 11.
Oh, I don't remember convincing you. I may have mentioned that I have it and it was okay.
So one thing that I've learned with OBS, and some people that play games like Apex Legends and or a few other games that does the same thing. If you play Apex Legends and you have a high refresh rate monitor, 144, anything above 60 FPS, your OBS will stutter when you play it in a high refresh mode. And that's because the OBS doesn't know how to encode it properly because the CPU usage is going all out of whack. You're not dropping frames, it's just stuttering weirdly. Like the game and your game itself will be like lagging. It's weird. It affects both OBS and also the game itself.
Does it affect the actual recording?
It affects everything. The game stutters. The OBS stutters, everything just goes haywire. And the best way to fix that, and you should always do this, except if you don't have Windows 11, is run your OBS in administration mode. That way, Windows is like, oh, I'm a smart little nugget. I'm gonna balance the usage of CPU from your video games, because this software called OBS also needs CPU power and GPU power, so the one is not overpowering the other. Windows 11 doesn't do that.
I've never noticed a problem.
I ran in admin mode because I was going to play a few games that required that system. My CPU usage on OBS was 90%.
Jeez. Why? What do you do? Something's broken. You know how when I was editing, you told me my computer was broken. Now yours is broken.
It's Windows 11. Like, that has never happened before. Only until Windows 11 walked into the room and was like, okay, if you're going to run this in admin mode, that means you need full power. And I was like, why is my stream lagging? Why am I dropping frames in games all the time when I'm streaming? And I was like, oh, it's because the fucking the Windows.
I'm going to vote it's a you problem.
See, that's the problem now. So I thought I was the only person, but I Googled it. And that's probably not the best thing to do because when you Google it, you will get your whatever you think. This is one thing I love about Google. It's going on a whole different tangent. I could be like, this cup is blue, right? And you'd be like, no, Rap, that's a black cup, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be like, no, look, I'm going to give it into Google. Is this cup blue? And the Google will say yes, because there's other people out there that will reinforce my opinion.
Yeah, that's
even if the opinion is wrong.
Yeah.
But besides the point, my opinion at this point is right. Windows 11.
I am definitely right. Yeah.
I love it, honestly. For everything else, I've used it so far.
I've never noticed. I honestly have never noticed an issue.
I like the interface. I've heard people complain about the interface, the UI, whatever. There's a whole change. I like changes in software. I am a child when I get a new update on my phone and they change the menus and the looks of things. I'm a sucker for that. Like Samsung changed the UI stuff from squared to like rounded. And I was like,
and that blew your mind. You're like,
it's so nice.
This is my best day ever. Now they're rounded squares.
I was like playing with it. And I was like, what is so nice? I like it because I like when Xbox did a new dashboard update. It was nice. It was cool, right?
Yeah, but sometimes people are scared of change, and a big change like I don't think Windows 10 to Windows 11 is not a big change. The biggest change is the taskbars in the middle by default. That's the biggest change that I've noticed. You're going, oh god, start isn't in the bottom left, but you can just change it back to.
I mean, those things are like small things, but I think
but that's what people will interact with most, and they'll be like, oh, it breaks my mind.
Yeah, old people. I'm old.
Yeah,
but I just think the things that need to be, it's optimization.
I mean, I'm looking at my OBS right now, and I know I'm only recording my face. I'm not playing a game, but it's like on 3% CPU.
But did you run it in admin mode?
No, because I don't think I ever do that.
Exactly. You didn't do that because you don't do that. I do that.
Don't know how many settings I've changed. Do you know? Oh, like sometimes when you play around and you have to sort something with your computer, you end up going, you Google it, and you end up going down all these rabbit holes of solutions, and you end up changing everything to being priority usage of power and stuff. I have no idea what half my settings are set at. They're all over the place, but it works, and that's fine.
That's fine. Just all I can say is, because you mentioned it now, be careful what kind of tech tips you listen to on TikTok and or YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels. Yeah. Because some of the stuff they're suggesting, it's really dangerous.
Oh, yes. Well, some of them will try and trick you as well. Some of them will act like they're being helpful, but they'll be like, delete your System32 folder and it will make your PC run faster. And you're like, okay.
I think in Windows 11 you can't do that.
I haven't tried it because that would be a silly thing to do. I'm
gonna push it. Come on, try. No, but like there's one TikToker that I watched that does like tech review. He's like an actual server maintenance personnel, so he knows what he's talking about. He's like half of the stuff that people are telling you to do, will make your PC perform worse in the long run, or totally brick your computer.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, we're all going to try things and do things every now and again that maybe are silly and maybe doesn't help us in the long run. I'm sure that, like, for the longest time, I had that issue. Oh, what was Oh, the whole like I couldn't use the search bar on Windows 10. You know the little search.
Oh, that was an annoying glitch. I hate it.
I couldn't use that. That's the reason I'm on Windows 11, and I had that for years. And I tried so many things to fix it, and in the end, it turned out to be something so strange. It was like a corrupt user profile, and it took me years to get to the bottom of that. And it was I couldn't use anything that had to do with anything Microsoft account related. So I couldn't use Xbox Games Pass on PC. That wouldn't work. I couldn't go on the store because that wouldn't work. So any games or anything that were on there, like Minecraft, I couldn't open it. It would open and crash. And it turned out to be a corrupt user. And it was so weird.
It's because you had a duplicate profile on your Windows users, right?
It just said it was corrupted. It was
because I remember having the same issue for my TV is really crooked.
It's distracted. My TV is really crooked.
That's dangerous because it's wall mounted, and that's like.
Well, I mean,
I'm going on holidays soon, so I'll come back to like a broken office.
You'll come back. It'll be on the floor and smashed. It'll be fine.
If that falls down, that falls on my monitors, and that's gonna make me sad. So I was gonna say, like, because I remember when I was working back in retail with IT, I had the similar problem with a customer where they had a duplicated account, but you couldn't find it in the user. Like Windows, you click on the sign out, and you have all the users there. You couldn't find it in there. I had to like install a program. And it like found like the hidden users. You had like admin and like this some shit, and I found it. I just deleted that profile and it fixed it all. Or you just had a very shitty luck with an update.
I think it was an update thing
because that's what happens. Like the majority of like the 95% of window issues is a bad update. So all you need to do is first of all back up your shit.
You should always,
not your physical shit, your hard drives and your. If you want to do that, put it in jars.
I mean, that's put them in jars, put them in your garage.
That's what Reddit's for, or 4chan. I'm sorry.
Either will do.
Either will do. They will love you for it. But anyway, back up your data, and then just do a manual deinstall of the last update, and just go back. Like every update, go back. I remember I had to do that for one customer. I had to go one update per time.
Yeah,
to find out which update messed up his whole
was the
PC.
broken one. Yeah.
And I think I went down like 7 updates down the line, and I was like, oh, this one was a broken one because everything's working now.
Yeah. When I had this issue, I had to do that. That was my temporary solution to get it working again. Was I deleted a specific update, and then every now and again, like you'd pause the updates, but every now and again the computer would catch me out and it would do it again, and I'm like, I know what, and I'd delete it, and then eventually it just stopped working. My workaround, and so I ended up on Windows 11. So there we go.
Now I'm talking about like customer computers and stuff like that. I just remember the most infected, the most virus-ridden, Trojan-ridden PC I've ever had. This guy brought it in. He's like,
I did it as a kid. I ruined my parents' computer.
Like, no, Colesy, trust me, this is like next level.
Well, he's okay, like, you go first. I'll tell my story.
He's like, oh, the PC's a bit slow. And you turn it on, it's just a blue screen, and then there's just like one file in the middle of the screen. I'm like, what is that? He's like, oh, I click on that, and then all my things are in there. Okay, strange. Like, did you do that? And he's like, no, I just turned it on, and one day it was just like that. I was like, what?
Okay.
What do you mean it was just like that? He's like, yeah, one day I turned on my computer. There's no taskbar. There's no nothing. There's no search bar. You cannot do anything. You can push the window key, it doesn't work. You have to click on that file. It opens it up, and then everything's there. And I was like, okay,
great.
My spidey senses was tingling.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna run an adware cleaner from Malware Bytes. I think that's what it's called.
Malware Bytes. Yeah.
I gave it into Google. I pushed fucking enter. I shit you not. Some people tell me I'm gonna be lying, but I'm serious. I pushed enter, and it closed the browser. If I Googled YouTube, it worked. Anything related to antivirus or adware cleaner, it automatically closed the browser.
It was fighting against you.
It was literally fighting against me. I took the software off other PC, downloaded it, put it onto USB stick, plugged it in. The PC decided to wipe the drive.
Mm.
I was like, this is weird.
So viruses are messed up, man.
Yeah, you could do amazing shit. So what I had to do is I put the PC into safe mode and then tried it that way. That didn't work. So what we initially did is we took a Linux USB. I hate Linux with a burning passion, by the way. But for maintenance, for maintenance stuff, it's really good. So we plugged in a USB-C drive, ran Linux on it, and used Linux to force in malware bytes, removed a ton of viruses and Trojans and stuff like that. Finally, the PC was working. It was brand new. It was like, this is so good. I was like, sir, what have you done with this laptop? I feel like I need to call it like police for like child services.
Yeah, I don't want to return this laptop to you because I'm terrified you'll do it again.
You need to I told him come after work. I'll sit down. You can ask me questions. We'll go through the do's and don'ts about how to use a PC because you definitely don't know how to use your PC.
Because you have no idea. It is quite
just like click links, ads and stuff. He's like, I just clicked this stuff. There's something. No, don't click on stuff.
See, now, I have that when I'm like, I'll be making a thumbnail and I'll want a specific image. So then you end up Googling it and you go onto a website and and there'll be 6 different download links. And
I hate those.
But you can look at it and as slightly technical people, we go, that's obviously an ad. That's an ad. That's the real one. Whereas somebody else will be like, yeah, just click every one of them.
See what happens.
Yeah, one of them will be it. I'll just click them all.
So how did you mess up your parents' PC?
So, this was when I was younger. I was a child. And I think it was a laptop at the time. I think it was like a family shared laptop that we had. And I had installed... Do you remember Limewire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So I had the Limewires. Oh, and I would download music and stuff from Limewire and videos. But Limewire was just such a mess of viruses.
That was a Russian roulette.
Oh, it was so bad.
It was so bad, man.
I think it got to the point where the laptop stopped working. We had to take it somewhere. I think it was actually a friend of the family that fixed it for us. But he was like, I think there was 1,000 things on there that shouldn't have been on there. That I wasn't downloading. That had just decided to jump along, I guess. But yeah. Limewire, Jesus, man, that was literally a minefield. So bad.
I remember Limewire was because you would be like, okay, I want to have the newest Blink-182 album, right? And you just gave that in. And then it's just you don't know what you're downloading. You might be getting that, or you might be getting some weird fetish video.
You'd end up with something that was completely not different. It was just named the correct thing, basically.
Yeah. I remember my friend was just he would just open the computer and he's like, I want to watch that movie. And he just clicked 100 links, downloaded everything. He's like, I'll go through it later and find out it was correct.
One of them will be right, probably. And then 86 will be viruses.
I remember one of my friends, he used to download saucy time spicy videos.
Oh yeah,
of Limewire, and I told him that's a risk.
Oh, you're so screwed
because you don't know what you're downloading.
Yeah, no.
And I remember one day he came over to my house and he was like, white as a ghost. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what happened? He's like, I downloaded a video. I was like, what? He said, I had to magnetize my hard drives and throw it away. I have to buy a new PC. I'm like, what the fuck did you download? He accidentally downloaded the, COD points.
Got it. Yep. Figured it out.
Yep.
No, it's right. The brain had to take a second to get there. Don't worry. But I got there. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he said he downloaded it and he's like, oh, I'm going to click on the video. And he he's like, initially he doesn't know what's going on, and when he realized what was going on,
yeah,
he said he lost control of his whole body. He's like,
it's not what he ordered. You see, that's the problem. He was not expecting it.
Yeah, he ordered a burger and he got that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'd react in that situation because like you're not. That's why I was like, don't do that because you don't know what's out there. Because of Limewire, I saw 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh, that was a classic.
Fucking One Guy, One Jar.
Yeah. There was, what else was there? There was the one with the horse. What was it called? Like Mr. Hands or something?
Yeah. The one that apparently killed the nun.
Yeah.
And fucking
Pain Olympics was one.
Yeah, and then like 2 Guys, 1 Hammer. That was.
I just love the way we're just naming them. Don't Google any of these things that we're saying. Do not do it. They're all terrible.
If you're not from our generation and you don't initially get like a gag reflex or know what we're talking about, you're innocent.
It's so funny that we're just naming them and in our heads we're just going, yeah, I remember. It's like being a Vietnam vet.
Yeah,
where
dude,
you're like, oh god.
I think the one that most hit me was the 2 Guys, 1 Hammer.
I don't know whether I saw that one specifically actually.
That was for me I think it was like I was underage when I saw that, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, I think this was in the
fucking
era,
traumatized, man."
This was in the era where at school we would have we didn't have smartphones, but we would
Sony Ericsson.
Yeah, Sony Ericssons, and you'd have your Bluetooth,
the black ones with the orange highlights.
Yeah. And it's one of them had like a little joystick on the middle. Yeah. And you had Bluetooth, so you would just Bluetooth like songs to each other. You would literally send each other songs, and half of the stuff was. Somebody would Bluetooth you the video and you'd be like, what's this? Oh my god. Yeah.
I remember my I downloaded that. I saw the 2 Girls, 1 Cup video. I was like, oh, that's fucking horrifying.
That's and then
my best friend was like, oh, you were into our friend. Like, he bought ice cream, chocolate ice cream.
Oh yeah.
And he gave it to me. He's like, hey, by the way, look at this. Why?
Oh my god.
But no, I think after if you don't know what 2 Guys, 1 Hammers, don't look it up. It's horrifying. But anyway,
don't do it.
I saw that video, and I'm not trying to be a hipster when I say this, but I knew right there in that moment, Russia's scary.
It's a crazy place.
Russian government scary. Russian people. They're okay. I mean, I'm not generalizing here. Russian people, the ordinary day-to-day people, are okay, but
there's a subset of you that
there's
are
a subset.
insane.
Like everyone's like, "Oh, American rednecks are so dangerous." No, excuse me, Russian fucking, that things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that happens in Russia we don't know about. Like
yeah. I mean, you even see like half the dash cam footage videos you see are Russian videos of like people jumping in front of cars, and you're like, okay, I guess.
I think my favorite dash cam video from Russia is the one guy, I think in the middle of Moscow, he like pulled up behind a car, he honked his the car's horn, just a guy with an AK got out. It's like, I don't understand Russian, but I mean the guy's like, oh, my bad, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The guy just got back into his car. It's like,
I mean, that's terrifying that can happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what terrifies me about America. I've never been to America, but the thought of if I argue with somebody, they can pull a gun on me. And I'm like, oh, I was not prepared for that. In my country, the worst that's going to happen, I guess someone could stab me, but it's unlikely to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I'd rather get stabbed than shot.
I've got more of a chance to fight off a stabbing than I have a gun. I don't have a gun.
What are you doing? Avoiding the bullets.
I'm fighting the bullets away. That's what I'm doing.
Did you see that side-by-side video from Deadpool 2? So if you haven't seen Deadpool 2,
I don't think so.
Spoilers alert.
I have seen this film.
Okay. I'm talking to the general community.
No, but I have actually seen half the time you mention a thing and I haven't seen it or played it. This time I have seen this film. Yep.
Okay. So have you seen the X-Men, the Wolverine movie where the Deadpool was first time in it?
Yeah.
Where they called him the Merc without a mouth, and they made him teleporty, and they made him a little weird and shit.
Yeah, and he didn't really. I don't think he spoke at all, did he? He had a stitched up mouth or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So in one of the scenes in the beginning, Ryan Reynolds is like goes into a room with a bunch of guys with guns, and they're shooting at him, and he uses the samurai swords to like deflect the bullets.
Right.
Because he's such a perfect swordsman and whatever. In the Deadpool movie, number 2, where he walks up to the guy on the car that's being broken, and he shoots at him, and he also does the same thing. So they replicated that scene, but instead of deflecting all the bullets, he just gets riddled with the bullets.
Just completely murdered.
Like when I originally watched the movie, I was like, "Oh, that's a funny scene," because like he's trying to be ninja and like deflect the bullets, but he's getting shot. But after seeing the side-by-side comparison, that it was a joke towards the original Deadpool's character, I was like, that makes that scene even so much more funny.
Have you seen what channel is it? What are they called? Corridor Digital on YouTube, and some of the videos they do where they will recreate a scene in a film but make it like gory realistic. They'll be like, oh, in this superhero film, if you actually threw a man against the wall that hard, he would turn to mush, and they animate it to be realistic. Those are so good.
I always find those kind of scenes funny.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this like you throw this any movie, not even superhero movies. The action hero falls down and he rolls over, from like falling down from 2 stories, and he's like, oh, I'm so strong. I don't care how long you've been in the gym, bro. If you fall down into a car, you're gonna be like,
yeah, no, you're screwed. Ow. You're not walking away from that unharmed.
Like that always takes me out of him. Like I love films like John Wick. It's an emotional roller coaster of just like, oh, I still love the whole premise of the first movie.
It killed his dog. Don't fight with his dog, bro.
The guy's like, why'd you slap my son? Because he killed John Wick's dog. He's like, oh, okay. It's just instantly scared.
So last episode we started off and I was disassembling
the GoPro.
A GoPro.
Oh, how did that go?
I continued to disassemble a GoPro. It's back together now. Right?
Is it working?
Yeah, I did discover in the process that the battery inside of it, which is this little tiny thing here, is really, really bulging.
Ooh,
and so that's not good. So I have replaced it. But what I did was I took it apart, the GoPro. And then I didn't actually find the thing I was looking for. I was looking for a memory card in it. I don't think there was a memory card in it. I think I lost my mind. But I'd taken it apart, and then I remembered that I'd seen a video a while ago. You can take there's like a filter on the inside of the lens. On the inside, there's I can't remember what it's called. I think it's like a infrared light filter of some sort.
Oh,
but if you take it off, it turns it into like a night vision camera. So I took it off, and so in theory, like I haven't actually fully tested it. Like the camera still works, I know that, because I have tried it with the battery. But I ordered 2 new batteries so that I have new ones. But in theory, night vision.
So Cole's just gonna do a Paris Hilton.
I'll go ghost hunting or something. I'll do a ghosty spooky video. I don't know. I don't know. I turned it into something useful, maybe. I don't know.
See, Colesy, I caught you there. I said the Paris Hilton, and you're like,
I don't know what that is.
I know what that is.
No idea. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was my first introduction to night vision. Because I think night vision, what we see in video games and then movies, it's not really how it is.
Everything just looks very green normally. And like, people look terrifying. People's faces are scary in night vision because their eyes are all weird and bugged out because you can't see the light. So your eyes are all blur and you look insane.
Okay, let's put it this way. If you got night vision goggles on and you're walking around in the dark because you're sneaking, because that's the only reason you have night vision goggles on, and you just walk up to anybody and you didn't expect to see that person there and they don't see you, I don't think I could be a special forces unit in the army.
You don't think so? You've just learned this now.
No, because like just the thinking of it, like I've been walking up to like, okay, it's time to go dark. Blah blah blah. 046, whatever the fucking line is in Rainbow and Call of Duty. Just probably pissed a bunch of people off there. And just like walking down the forest, and this guy comes around. I'm like,
Oh, you spooky.
You startled me. Oh, by the way, I have to shoot you now.
Maybe they might train you for that, just so that you don't get spooked by people walking around corners in front of you.
Anti-startling.
Yeah, I mean, they do all those like insane tests where you have to like stand in a room full of whatever gas it is and breathe it in for however long.
That's not going to stop me getting startled from somebody.
No, but like if they're going to train you for like, this is what tear gas is like, you have to stand in this room. They're going to train you to not be spooked when someone walks around behind you and goes, "Ooh."
Like, all right, boys, we've trained you how to kill a man with your pinky fingers. Today, we're going to get you not to be startled by somebody coming around the corner.
It's true. Or maybe they just teach you like reactions. So like someone spooks you and you immediately knock them out and they're just dead. Done. Nailed it.
Man comes around the corner. Hello, son. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem when you leave the army and you start murdering people in the street because they spook you a bit. Yeah, that's when it becomes an issue.
I realize the only time, and I get heavily scared. Like if someone could come around the corner and just be like, "Hello," I'm like, "Yeah." Anytime that happens to me, it's like I'm heavily in thought.
You're distracted, really.
I'm like, I remember one time I was staying at a friend's house, and it's really weird, by the way. The front door had a window to the left of it.
Okay.
And that window's from their bathroom window. So if you had guests and you're taking a shit, they could hear you taking a shit. It's really weird, right?
That's a strange layout of a house,
right? Right. So I went out at like everyone was asleep in the house. I was like, I can't sleep. I need to go for a walk. I need to clear my head because I'm going through a lot of emotional shit. And I go out and I'm coming back and I'm like looking for the keys. And I'm standing in front of this door trying to like look for the goddamn keys in the pitch black.
And
my friend just opened the window. He was like, "Hi." I tell you, Colesy, I lost all power in my legs. It's like,
I've become jelly.
Like, on the floor. My friend's just like, "What was wrong with you?" He just said hi.
I'm generally the person that will jump out and scare people because it's funny for me. My mum is so easy to scare. I walked into the house the other day. I walked into her house, just opened the door, normally wasn't trying to scare anyone. And then she walked out of like the living room right in front of the door. And I just went, "Oh, hi." Like, to say hi. And she was like, "Oh," and I'm like, "I just came in and said hello. And I didn't mean to."
Your mom's in deep thought.
Oh, no, she's just, I don't know.
I used to be the same. Colesy, me and you, we used to be the same. I used to love scare people. I used to scare the shit out of my grandma. I would be the kid that would climb on top of the walls, like outside walls, not like the inside walls, like the walls in the garden, and sit there in the blistering sun of South Africa, just waiting for my grandma to walk by and go, "Boo."
It is I
thought
fun.
it was the funniest thing ever until my grandma was like, "You can kill me.
I could die." And you're like,
"I could have a heart attack." I'm like,
well, in that case, I need to train you more to not die. We need more spookings.
My brother's also the same. My brother has destroyed, I think, 2-3 phones.
Oh, what?
From being startled?
Yeah.
No, by flinging them in fear.
Oh, so not even just like fumble it. It's like what? It's gone.
Because my mom met him, like she saw him walking across the street. She's like, "Oh, that's my son. I'm going to say hi to him." She just went up behind him and was like, "Hi," and just touched his shoulder. And he's
everything he was holding left.
Left. And it dropped on the floor and a car drove over and he was like, "Oh, that's my phone." And I was like, "Why'd you do that?" He's like, "You scared me."
Why did you do that? Yeah. I deliberately did that. Yeah, that's what I thought. I like spooking people. Like I will hide outside of the bathroom and wait for like my girlfriend to walk out and I'll be like, "Whoa," just to scare her for fun. But then when they do it to me, I'm like, it's not funny. Yeah.
I hate.
Yeah.
That nervous feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but I do like being scared. I like scary films and things.
Me
so
too.
I like the feeling of being scared. I guess it's not. Even like a jump scare in a film, they're fun. Like you watch a horror film and you're like, oh, I hope it's scary. I want to feel scared.
It's a weird thing, man. It's a whole like punishment masochist thing. Is that the right term?
Don't make it weird. Don't make it
It is weird. Colesy, it is weird. We're like, oh, what do you do for fun? I like to watch things that scare me. We're tapping into our subconscious because we're trying to initiate the
fight or flight.
Fight or flight mechanism in our body, right? That's basically what it is. Because your body is like, oh, that shouldn't be that way. You should run, and you get that shot of adrenaline. And you're like, oh, this is so good.
It is good.
And then you're like, oh shit, that's not scary anymore. I need to go to the next level, and then the next, God. And the next, and next thing you know, you're on fucking Reddit.
Wow. You know what? Reddit's been good to me recently. I've got to praise Reddit. I love Reddit. I promoted some videos on Reddit, which I generally don't do because it's really difficult to do without seeming like an asshole. Yeah. But those videos have done really well. In comparison to like normal videos, I just not bragging, just saying.
I used to read creepypastas.
Oh yeah,
r/creepypastas.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just this weird place of people posting 5 sentences of like really stupid meme jokes or their fan art of like same characters. It's like, I came here for stories. I remember some of the stories I read, I was like, oh shit, I'm getting like chicken skin. I'm getting like, oh, goosebumps. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
It's like, Slenderman was a creepypasta originally, wasn't it?
All the greats, like, now that I say that, I can't remember them, but Slenderman,
it's like
SCP.
SCP, yeah, that was one.
Dude, SCPs are so cool.
Yeah, they're really, like, it's a weird universe of SCPs, because it's basically anyone can invent one. And it's always like a weird new creature that does a weird thing or something. And it's like,
but you have to be, there's this general set ground rules you have to follow. Like, I think you can't make an SCP that overpowers a certain level of an SCP because that SCP was previously set as the most powerful SCP or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I love it.
But it's like so good how it can be, anyone can contribute to it and it just builds more of a universe. It's so cool.
So cool. I used to watch a few YouTubers that did like SCP lore readings. They would read out stories and they would show like fan arts of it. And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. My wife was like, what are you watching? I'm like, I'm watching this. I just realized what I was going to say. I was like, I'm just like horror stories, you know, from spooky stuff. It's like, oh, okay. I was about to say, like, you know, kids on the internet made this and it's really scary.
A big spooked and it was written by a 12-year-old.
The 12-year-olds are scary, man.
Dude, I remember playing the original Slenderman game and we hooked it up to the living room TV. This was while I lived at home and everything. And it was me and my sister and we were playing it and we were I made my sister play, I'm going to be honest. I was a big chicken. I didn't want to play the game, but I was quite happy to sit there and be scared by it. But I was like making her play, and I was like, ooh, and we were like jumping and stuff, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And I think my mum came in, she was like, what are you doing? And we were like, oh, I'm playing this scary game. My mum loves horror stuff as well.
Okay.
So she sat down with a cup of tea in her hand, and I'm like, you probably want to put that down. And she was like, it's not going to scare me. Slenderman pops up, she goes, throws tea everywhere. I was like, oh, this is brilliant. This couldn't have gone better.
Yeah, I remember the whole Slenderman boom, man. I started like a lot of Let's Players channels. Like a lot of careers. I made a video in it and it got like, it wasn't badly received. It was one of the first videos like, oh, I should probably do horror games, but people like seeing me scared and
it is funny to watch people scared.
Yeah.
I see. That's kind of how I started as well. I did more horror to begin with than I do now.
Many people, it's a weird thing where your viewers are like, I want to see you scared.
Yeah, but I can understand it. It's funny. It's
funny, but it's concerning. It's like, you like me, but only when I'm shitting myself and like terrified. Is this a two-way relationship or is this a one-day thing? What are you doing?
I think it goes back to it being a weird kink.
Yeah.
It's their weird kink to watch somebody else being scared. That's what
I
is.
think it's a passive way to experience it. Like, oh, I want to see what happens in a scary game, but I want to laugh at the same time.
Yeah. Then the scariness. Have you ever watched like a scary film, so scary, and you're like, I've got to watch something funny afterwards because I don't think I can sleep. I need to watch something like light-hearted and funny so I can sort of forget about the terrifying film I just watched.
Oh, I've never had happen with a film, but like being on Reddit or that there's some shit that I saw that scarred me, and I'm like, I need to spend some time on just like 9gag.
Yeah, I need
some
to watch
stupid memes.
I need to watch a cartoon for children that's happy and smiley.
It's like, I just need innocence in my life. Do you have a friend that you cannot watch horror movies with?
How do you mean?
Because if you watch
they
it
don't
with
like
them, no, because you both love the film. You both love the genre, but because you're so numbified to the whole genre that when you both watch it, you just become like, that's kind of funny. Like you don't, yeah. It becomes instead of becoming a horror film, it's like, that's kind of funny, or like, oh, that's so stupid.
I do that with most films where I'll just be judging it for whatever's going on. I'm not one of those people that you can sit and watch a film with and I'll sit there silently and watch it. I want to talk and discuss everything and go, I reckon that then they're going to go into that house and that's where the dead guy will be. I mean, I want to discuss it. That's how I watch films.
Depends what kind of situation we're in.
I'm
like
not,
if we're
not in a cinema. Okay, I'll be quiet.
It's just like Cole's in the cinema. I think it's that guy. No.
Maybe not in a cinema, but like when we're watching a Netflix or something, I'll be like,
something different. Like at home, like if you're with someone you're comfortable with, it's fine.
I want to discuss.
But not when it's like a really important scene where some people are discussing something, you're like. So you know that thing that happened 5 minutes ago? Let's discuss that. Like,
you don't want to be the guy who's going, hang on, what's he doing? Where's he from? Who's that again? Because that's annoying. I'm not asking questions. If you're not paying attention, leave.
I love my wife, but she does that sometimes. It really riles me up. I'm like,
they ask you something and you go, I know literally as much as you do about how do I know who his mum is? What? I've been here at the same time you have.
I should just say, I don't know. I've given up. My mom did it also to me many, many times. I'm like, I just give up. I want to watch horror movies again. And I think there's one movie I've really been putting off to watch. And it's on Netflix. It's called The Ritual.
I don't think I've seen that, no.
It's basically these guys going to it's a Norwegian horror film. And they go into the forest. And they all have a psychedelic trip after eating mushrooms. And they go through like this weird monster hunts them or something. There's just like some weird premise. And I watched a few minutes of it and I was like, nope. Because I have a lot of forests where I live and I look at that and I'm like,
scared of the forest.
Bro. Like, do you know what's out there?
To be fair, your forests are probably quite scary.
Just imagine. No, just wondering. You're sitting there in your forest, in your little camping camp. Oh, you're sitting there, having a toasty beer or having a bit of s'mores, whatever you want to do. You're sitting there. Oh, it's so happy here. Outside, you're like, oh, it's probably the wind. You never know, because by Schrödinger's law, law, whatever you want to call
Schindler's
it,
cat,
not Schindler's cat.
Yeah.
There's a 50-50 chance it's a fucking murderer, psychopath, a Russian kid with a hammer.
A Russian child with a hammer, yeah, could be.
It could be a bear, it could be an animal.
See, now, do you have bears?
Yeah.
Are there bears? See, we don't have bears. I'm not scared.
We have bears, we have wolves. But the thing is, Switzerland, they've wiped out everything. A month ago, they're like, oh, we found a half wolf, and we shot it.
They found one, killed it.
It's like, yeah, it was going to eat my sheep. Let it eat the fucking sheep, man.
No, screw the wolf. Murder it. Come on, Jesus. Eat the wolf.
You're so British, man.
No, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Well, look, I'm trying to think of what the scariest wild animal we have in the UK is, and all I can think at the minute is a badger.
Badgers are fucking scary.
I mean, they're mean and they're made of like freaking concrete. If you ever hit a badger with your car's fucked, mate. Your car is dead. My granddad hit a badger once. Car written off. It's made, and then the badger will write off your car. Your car will be completely broken, unfixable. The badger will walk away, and you're like, "Excuse me? You should at least be dead." It's insane.
At least you'd lose your life.
Although, to be fair, actually, my other granddad, different granddad, he hit a horse once, which is a bit. He hit a horse in a motorhome. He was driving a motorhome, a horse ran across the road. He hit a horse. Now, that's not normal. That's a bit unusual, I think.
It's like, that granddad, were you on the road or in the field? I don't know where I am.
I don't know. There was a sign that said stable, and I just went straight through it.
I thought it was a stable road.
Yeah, that was weird.
My mom hit a cow when I was a young.
Cow? Wow.
When I was a youngin', she was like, oh no, that's a problem in South Africa. Like, because they put the animals.
But they're so big. You see them.
No, because in South Africa we leave them. And they leave the animals in the tall grass.
Mm-hmm.
So you're driving your car, and all of a sudden, fucking cow.
I wouldn't want to hit a cow. I'd be scared.
My mom hit the cow. The cow was dead, so she got a kill.
She got a kill. She marked it down.
My brother hit his head. And I think I was also there. I hit my head. I don't remember. I was a baby, so it doesn't really ring a bell. But I do know
that could explain
there was one
a lot.
time me and my brother were on the dirt bike riding in the outback. Sounds really nice. It was cool. And we weren't wearing helmets, which was so irresponsible.
Of course not. Why would you wear a helmet?
A 14-year-old with like a 6-year-old in the back with no helmets. That's just like good old times.
Bouncy heads, they're fine.
And we were going to the field and like going on this dirt road, and my brother was like, "Oh, we should probably be careful. There could be animals jumping out at any time." And right at that moment, a goat jumped out. My brother slid the dirt bike. Everyone fell. Like, obviously, we both fell off.
Yeah.
My brother's freaking out. He's like, I'm crying.
Of
and
course.
he's like, oh my God, my brother's hurt. My brother's hurt. I hurt my little brother. And I broke the motorbike. No, I'm crying because I lost my shoe.
Wow.
When my mom's going to kill me, I lost my shoe.
More scared of what's going to happen when he gets home. Oh no, my shoe.
That's a habit with me. I break my teeth.
You're terrified of what's going to happen when you have to tell somebody, not the thing that's just happened. Gee.
My mom was scary back in the days, man.
Your mom was scary. Well, that's why you take her on death-defying, paragliding. You're like, I'm getting my revenge. Remember when you used to scare me? We're gonna go fly in the sky now.
I think the most horrible thing I've apparently said to my mom was because she doesn't like the area we live in.
Okay.
She's like, I don't want to die here. I want to go somewhere nice and live there.
Okay.
It's like, it's want to grow old somewhere else where it's nice and sunny and blah blah blah. And one day I don't know what possessed me. I was like, Mom, you're gonna die here.
This is it. This is where you die. Get used to it.
It's like you talk about going away, escaping, but you're gonna die in this town, and you're probably gonna go to the old person's home that you don't like.
I say that to my parents all the time. That's how I wind them up.
I'm gonna put them in old folks' home.
I'm just like, right, if you don't shut up, Mum, I'm gonna get the cheapest one I can find where they probably beat you up or something, and that's where you're going. I like winding them up. It's that thing of like my family's weird. We will joke about that, and it's like, in reality, I don't actually dislike my parents, and I wouldn't actually ever do that. No, exactly. Okay. But it's that weird relationship you have where you will just wind each other up for fun and just be horrible.
I think it's the best way to cope with just family. I hate family that fake loving,
or family that don't talk. I don't like that.
You don't really care. Fuck off. Just say something horrible to me and make it as a joke.
Yeah, let's just abuse each other, call each other an idiot, and then move on with our lives. Come on.
Like, oh shit, you're still alive, Uncle Tom. Yeah, fuck you too.
Yeah, that's the discussion you want. You want to be like, oh, I can't believe you're not dead yet. Jeez. Fucking hell, I thought you'd have gone already. Jeez.
I think Russell Howard, he made another joke where he's also like something like, my family was so horrible. Was it not? No, it was sorry, I'm giving the wrong person credit. It was the fat bloke, the chubby bloke that does really good roasts at the Golden Globes.
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais.
I love Ricky Gervais.
I love Ricky. You know, I think people took out his last comedy thing, like his performance, where it's like, oh, he's being homophobic or transphobic.
Yeah.
He wasn't being transphobic.
No.
He just basically said, oh, I'm giving you the opportunity to be on the same level as everyone else. So I'm going to treat you exactly the same as everybody else. And I'm going to make fun of you as exactly as everybody else.
People took it completely the wrong way. The way he was doing it was inclusive, but people were saying he was excluding them by like making them the butt of the joke.
Well, that's the thing.
They weren't.
It's weird because I find it at some point in time, like, you know, South Park made the episodes like, oh, you have to wait a certain time after you can make fun of AIDS.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, it's time. We can make fun of AIDS now. It's been long enough. And then that's the same thing. Like once you start being able to, because humor, this is something that people forget with like the kids also nowadays. They think they're becoming edgy by doing the stupid racist jokes. It's the difference between being an asshole and being self-realization.
Yeah. Like
if I make jokes about myself, like I can make fun of jokes on me because I'm fat, I'm white, I'm a white South African, white African. It's funny as hell shit. I can make fun of that shit, right? Because I can self-realize. But once you start punching down, or just being, there's no joke. It's just being horrid. That's when it's like a line that's being crossed, and you have to be. It's like with anything, you have to be very careful how you do it. You can make a joke like, "Oh, knock knock, who's there?" Mario, whatever. It's a ha 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 ha, whatever joke, right? But if you want to make a great good, joke, by the way. It's a great joke.
Mario's here. Oh, hi,
Mario. Like if you want to go like a really good joke that has a poignant message behind it, then you have to be like really careful, because you can go to the line where it's like, I'm making fun of this person, or I'm highlighting stupid stereotypes of these kind of these people.
It's with Ricky Gervais, especially in that most recent like special he did, you can tell like the things he's saying, he doesn't mean those things. That's not how he thinks. He doesn't feel that way. He's saying it because it's funny to say and it's a funny thing. It's more like, imagine if I was like that and that's how I actually did think. And it's like,
that's why he said. That's why he said at the beginning, like, remember, there's a thing called sarcasm.
Yeah.
And then he made the jokes about like women not being funny.
Yeah.
He's like,
but they were funny. It was funny because he's joking about it.
He's making a joke about it because everyone says the thing that women aren't funny, but there are funny women out there.
Yes, of course there are. I like him. He's funny.
I've always loved him.
I mean, he's a clever person for starters. He's so intelligent.
Yeah.
He's massively supportive of like animal rights and stuff like that. He's just such like a sensible, intelligent person. There's no way you could like really, I don't see how you could turn on him and be like, but he's transphobic. And you're like, he's not going to be. He's so level-headed and sensible.
Yeah, I think the problem with people nowadays, and this is not me jumping on some right-wing wave or something like that, people react too fast without putting a second's thought into what the situation, like, context is very vital.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about this today, and I know we don't have a lot of time left, but fuck it. I'm staying up late for this, so might as well go for it. Extra special, because I'm going to go in Japan soon, so, might as well make it special. I used to be one of those guys that was anti-SJW.
Right.
I was one of those guys like, oh, feminism is so bad. It's such a bad thing. I used to follow all the YouTubers, the right-wingers, and I was like, oh, this is so bullshit, this SJ, this left-wing stuff. And I realized, oh, this is just all toxic fucking stuff. It's all toxicness.
Yeah. There's good and bad in everything, isn't there? That's the thing. There's always going to be the crazy outspoken people who are like taking it too far, whatever their opinion is.
Exactly. And that's the point I was trying to make. So a little bit of tangent there. People would like to always highlight the most extremes of both sides and say that's a generalization.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people used to do back in the olden days. Were like, oh, that black man killed that person over there. Oh, so all black people are murderers.
Yeah.
That's a generalization. You can't do that.
That's not how the world works.
Like, they just saw one guy saw a Mexican sleeping. Oh, Mexicans are lazy. It's the same fucking shit.
Yeah, it is. Well, that's a stereotype. That's what it is, isn't it? They're getting them because of like the few experiences they've had have
exactly
tarred everyone with the same thing. Yeah,
and that same mentality can also be put around because people are now so ready to take down anyone that's basically not a good person, if you know what I mean. Like, there are people out there that are so bad for the LGBT plus community and like that are transphobic and horrible people, obviously, and they should be taken down. They don't deserve a platform. But people will be like, they hear one thing without the full context.
Yeah. It's like you're being cancelled for like... I hate it when somebody will be cancelled, quote, cancelled, for like a tweet or a Facebook thing they did 10 years ago as a kid. And you're like, time was different. I am not the same person I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's
a point. Like, Kevin Hart is a good example.
Was it him that he was going to be the host of the Oscars or something?
Yeah.
And then he had to apologize because he said...
And it's I'm not apologizing because I already apologized. And actually he did. He made that tweet. And then after a few months or something happened, he's like, I got called out for my shit. I learned my lesson. I apologized. I deleted the tweet. I deleted it.
Nobody is perfect. That's the thing. Nobody is perfect. You can't say that you have never done something that now, looking back on it, you would go, I would not say that now. I would not do that now. I understand that is insensitive. Yeah. It's exactly. We've all done it. We've all done it. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to be like, oh, by the way, I said this and I did this because that's just because we don't need to. But we've all done it, so let's not.
It's not about having to bring it up. It's about realizing what we did.
Yeah, but then
learning from it. That's
you can't necessarily attack somebody now because that person is different.
Yeah, exactly.
Than they were.
I fully agree with
you.
Well,
hopefully they've learned. If they haven't,
some people don't learn. They just learn how to hide it better. So that's the worst part.
Yeah, it's like
shit, I got caught one time, so I should not probably put my racist tweets out on the internet.
Well, let's a prime example was like PewDiePie. Right? He said like the N-word on stream that time. He was playing PUBG, and I might have been talking to my brother about this the other day, and I was like, it's funny how he managed to carry on and he still sort of had a career after it, but other people that have done similar things didn't. They got cancelled. But then I think in the moment, the way he explained it when he did, because obviously he had to explain it because people got on his back, but he was like, I just wanted to call the person in that moment the worst thing I could think of. And I'm like, I understand that. It's not as if you know what I mean? He had that whole thing where he dressed as Hitler or something.
No, he didn't dress actually as Hitler. He dressed up as a fucking Swedish soldier. And then people took it out of context.
There was the Jews thing that he.
Okay, so you tapped onto my fucking.
There's a few things, you know what I mean, that he did. But
I hate that person. That's it.
He's sort of. I don't think he's that person, if you know what I mean.
No. So just to clarify, if you don't know what happened, PewDiePie was signed by Disney.
Yes.
As a content creator, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was one guy that worked at the Wall Street Journal that hated PewDiePie. He had a huge vendetta against YouTubers. He just hated the whole influencer market. He's like, if you go to his press tweets, he's like, I hate it so much, blah, 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 blah. It's destroying our industry, blah, 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 blah. And PewDiePie asked, he went on that,
Fiverr, I think it was.
Fiverr, right? And he thought, okay, I'm going to write the most obscene shit. And people will probably, half of people cancel because, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
And they fucking did it.
Exactly, yeah.
And it was even his reaction was
exactly. He's doing it going, nobody's going to do that.
Because
it's ridiculous.
And they did it. And he's like, Oh, I remember watching that video. I was eating my lunch. I was like,
I know. See, but that's funny.
It is
not because
funny.
the thing they're saying is funny.
It's the
fact they did it, and you're going, I can't believe you've done that. That's ridiculous. Exactly.
And afterwards, he made that video, and then that Wall Street Journal person found out. I was like, oh, I'm going to go after him for this.
Yeah.
I think the one thing in the article that he posted about PewDiePie being a Nazi, PewDiePie was pointing off camera.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. He's like, oh, look at him.
One frame that looks really dodgy.
He's like, oh, look at him. He's doing the Hitler sign. And then the suit, the uniform that he was wearing was a Swedish World War II veteran, like a World War II uniform.
Yeah, I remembered him in some sort of military uniform. But I didn't
he's like, oh, look, PewDiePie is wearing a Nazi uniform. Like, all the Swedes are like, yeah, that's not right.
Technically,
I don't know why they sound Scottish, but there's just people didn't find the context. They didn't go down and look at the context. They just read the headline. Oh, PewDiePie's a Nazi. Like, even my brother came to me and said, oh yeah, PewDiePie's a Nazi. I'm like, no, he's not.
No, he's not. Yeah, but then the thing is, the amount of YouTubers that have been exposed as, pedophiles, horrible people now, you go, it's sort of like a matter of time. You're going like, oh, we'll wait.
Who's
and
next?
At some point, one of my favorite creators, they'll be like, oh, yeah, and you're like, they're dead to me now, I guess. God, I can't watch that stuff. It's happened so many times.
Happens. So many people that were also falsely accused, like Tabascus.
Yeah.
Was also falsly accused. He just had a drug problem.
Yeah, it's not great.
No,
but
he wasn't a sexual abuser.
I mean, we're never gonna know because we don't know.
Obviously,
we
don't know. But
some of
DeFranco,
them, it's
Philip DeFranco was close to him, and Philip DeFranco said also he's not a rapist or something like that. He's just off his tits, and I don't like him.
He's just crazy on the drugs.
Well, if you looked at his old vlogs, you can like see he has a lot of energy for someone that age. Oh.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the fact that he knows the views are going to be high helps. I don't know. I haven't been in that position where I know that I'm going to get views, so I don't know.
Colesy opens his YouTube Studio app. I just got 1 million subscribers. Let me take out my cocaine.
I think it just depends if you're that type of person in general, doesn't it? I mean, if you're not a drug user, you're probably going to avoid it. You know what I mean?
Well, you can't, it's like one of those things when you go over to some of your friend's house and they offer you tea. You're like, oh, I'll take a cup of tea.
Tea is different. I don't know whether you've ever been to a friend's house and they've offered you cocaine, because I haven't had that. No,
you never went on the white train?
I've never. No, I have avoided. The only drug I've ever had is the marijuana.
The marijuana. Well, okay.
Other than caffeine and that shit, which is not drugs.
Very good boy. Very good boy.
It doesn't interest me. I don't even drink. I'm so boring. I'm so boring. I don't drink alcohol because I just don't like the taste of it. So that's boring.
Oh man, you shouldn't live in the UK then.
Well,
that's almost like a sin. Saying to the British people,
I
don't like beer.
I mean, it's some people find it strange, and some people will try and encourage you. That's the other thing. Some people are like, "Oh, go on, have a drink," and I'm like, "No, I just don't like it." So it's not like I'm not trying to be like a party pooper and being like, "Oh no, I don't want." I just don't like it. You know what I mean? Sometimes I think it'd be easier if I just told people I'm actually a recovering alcoholic. Then they'd be like, "Oh, I understand. I'll leave you alone." You know what I mean? They wouldn't push a drink on you, but I don't drink. I'm pretty boring.
I think I have a weird obsession with UK and alcohol because I used to watch those TV shows.
We do like it
I used to watch those shows where the police officers go out in the night and they get all the drunkies together. I'm like, what is going on in the UK? You're fucking wasted. Like this one guy's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna go out have an average night with the boys. And this cuts back to the guys like, I'm just going to take this vodka shot and put it in my fucking eyeball because that's the best way to get it in my brain.
Gets it to your bloodstream quicker.
Right into that stream, and he's like, I've had I don't know, this many alcohol and I'm so drunk. I have to work early in the morning, but it's okay. the average night out. I'm like,
I think as a country, we drink an insane amount. Like, compared to, like, it's weird when, like, I watch an American thing and they were like, oh my God, let's get a 6-pack like for the party. And you're like, a 6-pack? Dude, I've seen people drink, like, double that on their own. What are you talking about?
It's weird, right? You feel like you don't realize it because you're living there. Yeah. Like, oh, this is average day. But once you go out of your country and have a little outside look, you're like, oh.
Yeah. You think it's completely normal. You realize how weird you are.
Yeah.
I'm just really boring.
No, I don't think so.
I am.
Once you come here to Switzerland, I'll change you.
Yeah, you're going to make me sleep outside.
I'm
going to have to fight a bear or something. That's, I don't know.
Play Half-Life halfway through.
Yeah, you'll set me up with some movies, some games, but I'll be outside fighting off the bear.
It's like randomly you're sleeping, stab. You've been stabbed, now you have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Get your first operation.
I'm so scared because of like the lack of things I've done that at some point everything's going to happen all at once and it's going to be too much for me to cope.
You know that happens sometimes when life is just like, here's everything all at once.
Yes. And you're like, oh no, please just spread it out. Can't deal with it all.
It's gonna be a beautiful Sunday morning. Coles is gonna wake up, scratch his hair, be like, I'm gonna watch some Netflix today. And everything's gonna happen to you.
Oh, just
like you're gonna be in hospital, cast and broken. Some guy just like, I want to play Half-Life. You're like, all right, I guess I'll play.
Oh, I guess being as I've broken both my legs, I may as well sit here and play Half-Life. You're all right. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. I know Coles is the host today, so
that's okay. Thank you everyone for listening or watching, whichever one you decided to do. It's up to you. You can do either. You can do both. It's all good. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know when the next time we will be back for definite is.
Yeah, because the thing is like because
Raps is running away.
Yeah, so. I'm gonna go on my my yearly vacation to Japan's, and I'm taking my camera and my laptop with me. I don't know how successful this is going to be. So this might either be me just being a call-in Colesy, and he records a Discord call, but I don't feel like both of us will enjoy making that kind of content.
I think we should try something. We haven't discussed it, as you could tell, because we're discussing it live on the podcast. But we might see if we can do something, but maybe it might be a few weeks. It might be a few weeks until if there's a gap in the recording, there's a gap in the podcast, but we'll be back. We will be back at some point. Don't worry about it. We'll get there.
It's 5 weeks. It's not so bad.
I mean, it's quite a long time. 5 weeks is quite a long time.
Exactly. I was like, I just hit 1K on Twitch. And I was like, yay!
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I'm going on holiday.
Yeah. Oh, well, congratulations on your 1K.
Oh, thank you, by the way.
I mean, maybe I'll get there at some point. I might stream sometime. I don't know.
But you got 6K on YouTube, so that's a big wallop.
I'm closing on 7, hopefully. Cross fingers.
We'll subscribe button, boys and girls.
Yes, anyway, check all our links and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, exactly.
TikToks and the Twitters and all of that good stuff down in the description. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Raps, would you like to do your little outro?
Love is with a bit of fun. I'll see you boys and girls next time. Take care.
Bye!